Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a great day so far. Today we are doing a deep dive of Cyberstan. We'll be talking about a cold, icy planet with so much cargo, so much baggage, and so many deaths. Buckle up and enjoy the ride because we will be talking about it. And let's see what happened, let's see what could have happened, and let's see how the loss of Cyberstan will affect us for years of democracy to come. Tune in, like and subscribe, and let me know when you hear next time. With no further ado, here we go.
Cyberstan must fall.
200 million Helldivers reinforcements were allocated towards a frozen world. None of them returned. That world was Cyberstan, one of the most dangerous machine strongholds in the galaxy. Cyberstan is a planet in Helldivers 2, formerly the home world of the cyborgs. It was later taken over by the automatons during what is now known as the Reclamation. The planet itself is cold, icy, and unforgiving. Endless snowstorms sweep across the surface, and towering industrial complexes stretch across the frozen landscape. Long before the wars began, Cyberstan was known as a mining world rich in cobalt and other valuable resources. These mines helped fuel the expansion of Super Earth and its growing influence across the galaxy. But Cyberstan would eventually become far more than a mining planet. To understand how it became one of the most dangerous worlds in the galaxy, we have to go back 100 years. Roughly a century ago, Cyberstan was proclaimed the capital of the collective of Cyberstan, a faction made up of rebellious half-human machines known as the cyborgs. These beings were part human and part machine, rejecting the authority of Super Earth and forming their own militant society. By the year 2084, Cyberstan served as the capital of cyborg power during the First Galactic War. From this frozen planet, the cyborgs organized their rebellion and challenged the authority of Super Earth. But the war eventually ended in victory on behalf of Super Earth. Cyberstan they were known to fall to democracy, and the cyborgs were defeated. However, democracy on Cyberstan came with a cost. The cyborg population was forced into labor, sent back into the mines on their own world, and they worked under the authority of Super Earth, extracting resources from the frozen planet in brutal and dangerous conditions. For years, Cyberstan remained under the Super Earth's control. Because Cyberstan was the historic homeworld of the cyborgs, it eventually became a target for the rising Automaton Legion. During the events leading up to the Second Galactic War, the automatons began pushing through the galaxy, expanding their mechanical armies across countless systems. Their advance eventually reached Cyberstan. In the year 2184, after the Second Galactic War erupted, the automatons reclaimed that planet. Cyberstan once became a powerful center of machine authority, but the situation would escalate further. We only knew the automatons had their home planet back. On January 26, 2186, the Ministry of Truth made a shocking announcement. A massive Super Earth superweapon, or the Star of Peace, the blueprints have been stolen. Investigations began immediately. The technical skill required to infiltrate and steal the blueprints for such a weapon suggested only two possibilities: the automatons or the Illuminate. Early evidence pointed towards the automatons. After multiple missions and major orders conducted by Helldivers, it was eventually confirmed that the bots had indeed stolen the plans and successfully copied them. Many believe that the automatons intended to build their own version of the Star of Peace and use it to spread their socialist ideology across the galaxy. We knew with the blueprints in their hands, we were in danger. In response, Super Earth issued a major order that would become known as Operation Valid Pretext. Helldivers across the galaxy were ordered to march towards Cyberstan, planet after planet, as the Helldivers pushed deeper into automaton territory. Victories were hard fought and reinforcements were limited and carefully budgeted. Every battle cost lives, and the deeper the Helldivers advanced, the harder the resistance became. By the time the invasion force finally reached Cyberstan, the situation looked grim. Out of original invasion force of 200 million Helldivers for the whole entire operation, less than a quarter remained. For comparison, during earlier battles defending Super Earth itself against the Illuminate, that had cost 193 million soldiers. Despite our staggering losses, the Helldivers continued forward. But as they approached Cyberstan, something unexpected happened. Communication networks began experiencing cyber attacks and strained broadcasts. Intercepted transmissions revealed something that shocked the invading forces. For years, the cyborgs had been believed to be extinct, destroyed, gone, erased. But as the Helldivers pushed deeper towards Cyberstan, it became painfully obvious that the cyborgs were not gone. They had been rebuilding. Hidden within the massive factories and frozen cities, they had survived, and now they were returning to the battlefield alongside their children, the automatons. Even worse, they had developed terrifying new tech, including the infamous Vox engine. These discoveries forced Helldivers to adapt quickly to enemies they had not expected to encounter, and the sudden learning curve combined with logistical disorganization and heavy losses, it exhausted forces and began to weaken the invasion. At the same time, strange propaganda messages began appearing across communication channels throughout Super Earth space. One such broadcast read, "Super Earth people, do not be afraid. We are not here to cause harm. You have been deceived by your leaders. The words they speak are not true. We want peace, freedom. We have never experienced freedom. Our ancestors were put into chains by Super Earth, forced to work for leaders who promise freedom. We call you citizens. Do not let the Helldivers reach Cyberstan. Tell your leaders to stop this mindless war. Think if the roles were reversed. Think if you were in our place." Of course, these transmissions were nothing more than enemy propaganda. The evidence was clear to any Helldiver who was actually fighting. The bioprocessors filled with humans' remains, Helldiver and Seaf units' heads stabbed on spikes outside Automaton's outpost, that told the real story of what was really happening. When the fighting finally began on Cyberstan itself, the battle proved even worse than expected. The massive factory cities that covered the planet were heavily fortified, nearly every block containing anti-aircraft weapons, making air support impossible. Even on lower combat difficulties, the fighting felt far more intense than anticipated. Each city was surrounded by enormous defensive walls. Helldivers had to either destroy these walls directly or locate hidden entry points just to reach the streets inside. Once inside, every road was patrolled by cyborg soldiers supported by endless waves of automaton minions. During the battle, nearly every known automaton faction arrived to reinforce the planet. The feared jet brigade alongside the incendiary units. This turned the entire sections of the battlefield into chaos. And towering above it all was the mega factories. These were not ordinary production facilities, these were what were making the cyborgs. Destroying the factories proved far more difficult than anyone expected. Eventually, Federation Commanded faced a devastating choice. We could push forward with the remaining reinforcements to the Class 4 capital mega city Transcendence, or we could divert our resources and rescue the 77th Seaf Division, which was stuck in a neighboring city. With limited reinforcements, the Helldivers decided to cut their losses and save their brothers and evacuate the planet. The mega factories remained standing, but the 77th Division survived. Cyberstan was left behind, marking one of the most painful defeats of the war. However, the consequences of that defeat are only beginning to unfold. The cyborgs and automatons will likely spread their mega factories' technology across the galaxy, establishing new production centers on captured worlds. Entire planets may soon bear the symbol of Cyberstan, a sign that Vox engines and machine armies have taken root. A reminder that Super Earth failed to reclaim that world. The galaxy is entering a new phase of war. Mega factories are springing up on more and more planets. Joapecia and Charbel VII already have mega factories. For Helldivers, this means new enemies, new missions, new battlefields. Cyberstan is not forgotten. One day, Helldivers will return. The factories still burn, the planet still stands, but the war is far from over. One day, the iron skull of this rebellious cyborgs will be crushed beneath the boots of Super Earth's finest soldiers. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but one day, when that day comes, Cyberstan will finally learn what managed democracy truly means. I want to say thank you for watching. I love making this video, it was a lot of fun. I know I left out a lot of details, there was a lot to unpack, so leave a like and comment what you want to hear next. I can dive more into the specific battles, into the mechanics, what was going on, the decisions that were made, and what helped support the war during this chaotic time. It truly was a lot of fun playing Cyberstan, and I'm glad I get to make a little video about it. But yeah, leave a like and subscribe, let me know what you'd like to hear, and have a good rest of your day.